Everybody is currently doing their 2026 rebrand and their 2026 reset. Guess who is not? Me. So I am going to be doing more of a return. I've talked to you all in previous videos about this concept that I've created, an idea called the Rested Return. It's actually the name of my Substack newsletter, the Rested Return. The idea essentially is that we are just returning back to ourselves, returning back to the version of ourselves that knew better. I can honestly say that I've had moments and versions of myself that I truly enjoyed. And there's still a lot of parts of my life that I'm truly happy with. And there are just certain habits that I need to get back into and some tweaks that I want to make along the way. So in this video, I want to talk about my 2026 game plan and what I'm tweaking and changing in 2026 for the life of my dreams and to protect my nervous system. I'm eating a salad. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. I'm your girl, Sonya Star J, and this is another episode of Sips with Star, where we discuss somatic healing, inner work, personal development, and social commentary. Today, I want to get more into my personal growth and some things that I'm going to be doing for my own journey this year. Still sipping on that beet juice that I had in the videos that you've probably seen before this because I'm filming them all at the same time. So I mentioned that some of the things that I'm going to be working on this year are specifically going to be catered to protecting my nervous system. And why that's going to be important for me this year is because I recently met with a coach and she told me that she felt like one of the things that I really needed to focus on were my stress levels. And I didn't feel like I was stressed at all. I felt like things are going pretty good for me. But then we started looking at the different areas of my life where I might be overdoing it. And it really made me start to look at my lifestyle and how I was showing up for myself and in my relationships, at work, in my business, and that I really needed to reel some things in and do some things differently moving forward. A lot of times, stress doesn't look like overwhelm, but it can be overexerting yourself. It can be saying yes to too many things when you really don't have the capacity to. It can be pushing yourself past exhaustion. And I have been noticing that because I'm working and then I'm showing up in my relationships and then I'm trying to show up in my business as far as like content creation and writing and journals and all the things that I'm trying to do. And now I'm hosting events. I'm not sleeping as well. There are days where I'm forgetting to either eat as well as I know I should or eating later in the day when I know that I should be eating earlier. Just not prioritizing doing the things that I know that I should be doing in the way that I know that I should be doing them. Allowing my goals to take precedence over me doing the best things for the longevity of my life. So one of the things that I'm going to be focusing on this year is strength training. Now, as you get older, strength training becomes more important because if you're not moving as much and you're not building as much muscle by lifting or eating a certain way, your body can start to autophagy. And you want to prioritize strength training to build muscle and to help your bones stay strong. Because at this point in our lives, like we are working out for our current selves, but also I want to be able to run and walk with my grandkids and just in general when I'm 80, 90 years old. So I'm incorporating more strength training into my routines. That's going to the gym or just right here at the house, making sure that I'm just lifting weights when I'm watching TV or just hanging around the house, lifting weights and using kettlebells and doing different things like that to make sure that I'm prioritizing strength training. I've seen some people doing weighted vests when they're walking. I have considered getting one of those. I still have to look into it to see if that would be the best course of action for me at this point in my journey. Another thing that I'm prioritizing right now at this stage of my life and just in general is stretching. Now that's something that I'm really big on. I have a history in fitness and wellness. I was a dancer for 20 years. I'm a licensed massage therapist going on 7 years. So that's something that I do professionally, is to help people with their flexibility and mobility and stretching. So I'm currently now teaching stretch classes in my city. But that's also something that I'm prioritizing myself. I remember when I was in college, I would come home and I would see my aunt stretching. And she was like in her 30s and getting towards her 40s. And because I was on the dance team at that time, so I was super active. So it came really easy to me, and it was just something that I just naturally did. I didn't understand why she was in her bedroom stretching after work. Now I get it, because we don't move as much as we used to when we were younger. You have to prioritize stretching. I stretch in the morning before I get out of my bed. I stretch throughout the day. I stretch when I'm going up and down the stairs in my house, before and after I go for walks, while I'm at work, before I go to bed, after and before my showers. Like, I'm always stretching. One thing I don't like is a tight back. I don't like my back feeling tight. And when you spend time laying down or sitting for long periods of time, your body can start feeling really tight. I personally don't like that feeling. And so I prioritize stretching all throughout the day. I have filmed or went live and done some stretching here because I am currently studying to get my registered yoga teacher training certification, which I should be done with by the summer. And then I'm also getting my certification in somatic healing. And so that's also another thing that I'm going to be focusing on this year for protecting and preserving my nervous system. Somatic healing. I mentioned it in previous videos over the years, but as I've learned more about somatic healing and why it's so important for us as people and as women, especially Black women, to know about, be aware of, and practice somatic healing, now I have the opportunity to share how it's impacting my life, ways that we can incorporate it into our routine, and how it actually helps to regulate our nervous systems. So somatic healing is our bodies store trauma, stress, and oftentimes can get stuck in survival mode. And even when our mind has moved on to the next thing, our body keeps the score and can stay stuck in the patterns that we were in. In somatic healing, we focus on breath work, learning how to feel safe in our bodies, grounding, releasing stored tension through gentle stretching. We do body awareness and tracking. Somatic healing is allowing your body to feel safe again. Teaching your body that it's okay to feel safe, to be present, so that you can regulate your nervous system and release stored trauma and tension. If you all want a more detailed, individualized video, definitely let me know in the comments, because I love talking about that, especially as I'm learning more about it and incorporating it into my own lifestyle with certain stretches and techniques that I'm learning to heal my own nervous system. When I realized that stress shows up in so many different ways, our eating patterns, through how our bodies react on a day-to-day, and how stress really impacts our lives and can cause autoimmune diseases and so many other things, and why it's so important for us to learn how to regulate stress and the best ways for us to do that. The truth is, most of us don't move enough. And so somatic movement just gives us another option to be able to move safely, and oftentimes for me, in a more fun way, because I'm a dancer. I love to dance, and so incorporating dance and stretching and somatic movement has been a really fun journey for me. Another thing that I am doing more of in 2026 and moving forward is eating more at home. Last year, I went on this kick of trying to be a foodie influencer for plant-based eaters. Now, the goal with that was to show that there were healthier options at restaurants for people who were plant-based, because I didn't want us to feel left out. And that was good while it lasted, and it really opened up a lot of opportunities for me, and it also helped me to find options that were good. But then I realized that a lot of it wasn't good, and a lot of the restaurants weren't necessarily places that I would frequent often. And so I will say that that did cause a little bit of stress for me, trying to cosplay as a foodie creator in that way. It was fun while it lasted. It definitely was. I got to highlight different restaurants and collabs and stuff, but the one thing that I'm going to be focusing on more this year is eating at home more. I missed my kitchen, and I will say that I was doing so good with eating at home and making my own foods and being aware of what I'm putting in my body. And I did so good with like losing weight and doing all the things. I was on top of my healthy habits. But then when I started to eat out, and I'm always looking for somewhere to go eat out, one, I'm spending a lot of money doing that. Two, I got more accustomed to eating out. I started getting real lazy with cooking at home, to the point where we would just be eating out all the time. And I ended up gaining weight from doing that and getting lazy with my routines, and I'm not feeling that. So my goal is to get back to the habits that I already know work, which is being in control of my own food and ingredients, because my food be good. I just posted a what I eat in a day plant-based edition. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check that out. I'm thinking about whether or not I want to do more videos like that, just to show y'all some things that you can be eating in between times, because it's not as complicated as we make it out to be. Sometimes our minds can make us think that we don't have enough time, or we're just tired. Maybe I will show y'all how meal prepping ahead of time to make things easier for me, because I just went grocery shopping and I prepped everything for myself, so I could just go in the fridge and just grab a salad or grab a snack, and it's just easy, so I don't have to make a whole thing every single day. That has made things a lot easier for me and my husband. So let me know if y'all want to see more of that content as well. And if you want to see more of like my hauls and vlogs and stuff, check out A Story Life, my vlog channel, because I'll be sharing more of that over there. But being in control of what you're eating, knowing what it is that you're going to eat, it helps with your nervous system regulation and your stress, because you're in control of the food that you're eating. A lot of the foods that we eat when we eat out can have inflammatory ingredients in it, and that causes stress on our bodies. I know for me, when I eat gluten, my body doesn't really like gluten, and it's not good for women who have hormonal issues. So consuming gluten or dairy, even accidentally when eating out, I'm going back to eating in the house. Like, we'll eat out every now and again, but we've really been enjoying just eating in the house, making our own foods, making fun out of it, spending time in the kitchen together. It's been a good time. And we're getting to experiment with new foods that we haven't tried before. Like, I introduced pomegranates to my husband. I had 8 pomegranate seeds before that were already like open in a container, but I actually bought a pomegranate and cut it open myself, and I was like, this is so interesting. So just allowing myself to be creative again in the kitchen has been so much fun, refinding my love for something that I've always loved to do. I'm really excited to get back in the kitchen and to see what new things I come up with and create this year. Now, the next thing that I'm going to be focusing on to help with my nervous system in 2026 is to decrease my screen time. Along with doing the content creator thing locally, it opened so many doors, and I got to meet so many amazing people. But I will say that I shifted from doing YouTube to doing more short form content on TikTok and Instagram, which are platforms that I was not prioritizing before. And it was very time consuming and it was very addictive. And I've posted a video before about my relationship with social media addiction and phone addiction and TikTok. When I delete the app, I'm pretty much good when I don't get back on there. But when I start feeling FOMO or I have an event coming up or something, I'll get back on there and I'll just get stuck on there. I really want to get out of that. I really want to figure out how to go about making my dream come true of connecting with brands and growing as a content creator and business owner and not being on the apps so much. Like with YouTube, it's so much easier. It's so much more chill. Like I love doing YouTube and I felt less stressed when I was just focusing on YouTube. And so I think what my goal is going to be is really to just focus on building my YouTube community and doing Substack because they feel better. Like they feel better for my mental health. They feel better for my energy, my mind, my spirit, just like everything just feels so much better when I'm doing long form content. It feels more chill, more cozy. Just, you know, I'm not chasing a dopamine high. I'm just here. And there's less pressure that goes into it. And so I think that's just what my focus is going to be. I was able to grow my TikTok. It'll probably be 210K by the time this video is posted. 210K within the last 6 years. And for some that might not be like a big deal, but that's a big deal to me because it's a goal that I've had for a very long time. I've always wanted to grow my platforms to 10K and to be recognized in that way as a creator. So that's a pretty big milestone for me. But now I'm just like, okay, I got the 10K and I'm really burnt out. You get burnt out really easily doing short form content. So less screen time is going to be a big one for me in 2026. And even with YouTube too, I do watch a lot of YouTube on my phone. And so now what I'm doing, because I really just watch podcasts and video essays, I'm just watching it on my TV now. And I'm spending more time like coloring and doing puzzles and engaging in my hobbies in the house, but not having it on my phone and having it on the TV really helps a lot. But giving up short form content is like so easy. It's just complicated when you're a creator and you feel like you have to be everywhere and you have to be visible everywhere. My next thing is going to be delegating tasks. So I have been doing more in-person events for my wellness business, Fully Loving Yourself. We have hosted 3 successful sold out events in the last month and I'm just like mind blown. I posted a video about how I brought that to life. If you want to watch that video, if you're somebody who's interested in hosting wellness events, definitely go check that out because I gave all the tea. But with that, I definitely need to start delegating tasks and asking for help. Trying to do everything by myself is just not gonna get it. So I've asked for volunteers. I've asked for my friends to show up for me when they say, do you need anything? I say absolutely. Even if I don't know what I need, they'll just show up and I can just say like, okay, I need this, and somebody will get in position. This is the year that we're accepting help. I've always accepted help because my husband is very acts of service. Like, he's going to jump in and do other things that I need. But now more so really just leaning into that support of, actually, I do need help. Can you show up for me? So really stepping into the power of that request and ask and just allowing people to show up when they ask, do you need me to show up for you? I sure do. This year, we will not be doing it all alone. Okay. Now, the next thing that I am going to be changing this year to protect my nervous system is I'm listening to brown noise when I'm sleeping, especially. Now, I remember somebody had told me that the reason why I was stressed was because I stopped listening to music. I listen to a lot of podcasts all the time, and I deleted my music platforms because I really just wasn't enjoying the music that I was listening to anymore. But I listened to handpan music, meditation music, but now I have some playlists on Apple Music that I really do enjoy. But while I'm falling asleep, I'm listening to brown noise. And if you haven't heard of what brown noise is a type of sound that is low frequency energy than white noise or pink noise. It sounds deeper, smoother, and heavier, like a low rumble. If you've ever heard of white noise, it's kind of like that. But it helps with focus and productivity and sleep. It helps to reduce distracting background sounds and feels less mentally busy, and it helps with nervous system regulation. It can feel calming and stabilizing, helpful during stressful moments, anxiety, and burnout. Often used in somatics and sensory regulation practices, and also helpful for people with ADHD and sensory sensitivity. People often describe it as grounding, soothing, less intrusive, and easier to tune out while blocking distraction. Now, not everybody likes it, but I like it. My husband liked it. We went through a couple different sounds, and that was the one that we liked. It actually came with the alarm clock that we have, and I'll link that too. It's like a sunrise alarm clock that we have the red light at night with the brown noise, and then in the morning it has like a sunrise that comes up, and then birds start chirping. It's perfect for me. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to be focusing on this year is, as I always do every year, this is what I say to y'all, I focus on low impact workouts. We're already doing somatic stretching. I've been doing yoga. I'm getting into doing Pilates, and I'm committing to my 10 steps a day. And if I can't do 10 steps, absolutely prioritizing at least 1 mile a day. 1 mile is a 20-minute walk. We can do a 20-minute walk a day. One, I have a dog, but just like during lunchtime or 10 minutes in the morning and 10 at night, just to get our bodies moving. It helps with lymphatic drainage. It helps with stress. It helps with your mental health. It helps so much to just walk, especially walking outside. But when I'm at work, I'll just walk back and forth in the hallways or just walk around the building a couple times. But really trying to get up to 10K steps a day. For me, I was doing really, really good until I started eating out a lot, and my job is very sedentary. So I got real comfortable again, and I started slacking. I ain't gonna hold y'all. It was hard to get back on track. But when I started to see that my mood was slipping and my habits were changing, not in a good way, I was like holding myself accountable. You know better. Like, you don't want to live your life like this. You know the type of life that you want to live. We got to get it together. And that can't come from anybody but me. Like, I have people around me who can pour into me and see me and encourage me. But at the end of the day, I got to get up and make these decisions and do the right things that I know how to do. And that's why I emphasize the rest and return, because we're not punishing ourselves. We're not pushing ourselves. Oftentimes, it's going to be an ease and a gradual return back to the habits that we already know work, without trying to just drop everything cold turkey and just jump back into everything. Because oftentimes when you do that, the habits don't stick, they don't last. If you take it day by day and take it slowly, you're more likely to stick to them. Like, I truly, truly loved getting to go out to different restaurants and meeting different people. But I realized slowly over time that I was noticing like my face was getting puffier because the salts and the oils and things that my body wasn't used to. I became really sluggish. My digestive system started getting backed up. And then I started craving unhealthy foods. So I'm like, yeah, no, girl, you know what you need to do. Get back on it. So I already mentioned that I'm going to be focusing more on long form as opposed to short form. I'm still going to be showing up on those platforms periodically, and I have mentioned this in my last few videos that I am focusing on building my Substack community this year because I'm absolutely loving it. Returning back to writing just feels like a great pivot for me. I talked about this in my previous video, but I'm just very, very excited because I'm now sharing short stories. And when I was younger, I used to love writing romance novels that I never shared with anyone. And so I'm excited to get back into that creative bag and just to see what comes from that. And also just being around more writers and people who think and create in that way is just really gonna be a good experience, I think. When we prioritize something that brings us joy and fulfillment, that helps to decrease stress and that helps to regulate our nervous systems. Most of the times we are on autopilot. We're just getting up, rushing to work, coming home, making dinner, doing it all over again. And we don't take moments to pause and relax and rest and just chill and do something that we enjoy, like coloring or doing a puzzle or writing or spending time with loved ones, hugs and cuddles. I know there are periods of time where I'm just like kind of annoyed by a lot of things because life is just so overwhelming and overstimulating sometimes that I need to just check back in with myself and be present and enjoy the small moments that I do get. And so by prioritizing something that does make me smile and bring me joy, like writing, it makes things worthwhile. I actually am doing a lot more this month and this year as far as attending different fitness classes, like dance classes. I'm doing a lot of dance classes this month. Me and my husband spent a lot of time like going to different events and stuff. We just went to the Chinese Lantern Festival. So we do a lot of different things that are cool. But I'm just trying to find what brings back that spark in me at this age now. And so the last thing that I'm going to be doing this year and moving forward, especially at this age, I don't know, things have just changed for me emotionally, mentally, as I've gotten older. And something that I just know that I need to do to prioritize myself and my own well-being is saying no more often and canceling when I need to. I actually said that this year I was gonna practice saying no more because it's not something that I'm good at. My husband always criticizes me because I say yes to too much, even when I don't have the capacity to. I'm always overbooking myself, and that's just because I genuinely love being there for people and helping people and showing up and doing all of the things. But a lot of times I tend to do a lot and I get over capacity, and I need to stop doing that and taking more time to myself to kind of just rest and do nothing. And also that will allow me to create better boundaries and allow me to feel safe and comfortable with creating those boundaries as well. In the past, when I've tried to create boundaries with people who were used to my people-pleasing tendencies, it didn't go over too well. And so now I'm just at that point in my life where it's like, okay, whatever. If my boundaries don't work for you, then this ain't gonna work for us. But I can't continue to put myself on the back burner to please everybody else and show up for everybody else. Granted, I have a lot of people that do show up for me, and so I reciprocate that energy. But oftentimes I've found that I would show up for people and it wouldn't be reciprocated, or I would show up for people and they would be disappointed or upset because I didn't show up the way that they wanted me to, despite what it took for me to show up in the first place. And I just didn't like the way that that made me feel. So this year I'm definitely going to be doing more of just not and saying no. And then the very last thing that I'm going to be doing this year to protect my nervous system is getting comfortable with doing nothing. Like absolutely nothing. Not scrolling, not just doing nothing. I watched the video of the girl who broke down the 7 types of rest, and I resonated with that so much, and I really want to do more of that, more resting. I've gotten so much more comfortable with rest over the years and understanding that rest is productivity. I gained so much creative clarity when I'm doing nothing, just being bored, being okay with being bored, and understanding that you don't have to be busy all the time. You don't always have to be doing something to feel like you are somebody or that you are being productive. And you also don't have to feel like you always have to be producing something. Your body needs time to rest in order to generate newness. You will deplete the battery and you gotta build it back up. You gotta plug it back into a source and then recharge and get back to 100. But if you keep pouring out and being productive and not refilling your cup, you're gonna look back and then you're not gonna have anything to give to yourself and you're operating at very low energy. And this year I want to operate at my optimal. So if that means not showing up for events that I really wanted to go to, if that means canceling things and just being at home by myself recharging, and that's what I'm gonna do. I had a friend ask me, she said, would you rather disappoint others or disappoint yourself? And unfortunately at the time that she asked me, I was like, I would rather disappoint myself than to disappoint others. I hate when people are disappointed with me, but I had to learn over time, like, that's actually not feasible. People will understand, and if they don't understand, they'll have to learn to understand. Understanding that we don't need permission from anybody else but ourselves to just be and exist, to be alive and enjoy life, to experience joy, to not overexert ourselves, and to stop performing for likes, for love, for acceptance. That is the goal for this year, is to just enjoy the opportunity to live life at our own pace. I'm really enjoying incorporating more slow living into my lifestyle through my low impact walking and workouts and somatic healing and spending time around people who make me feel good. I feel like I'm stepping into such a mature time in my life and in my business. And in one of my next videos, we're going to be talking about stewardship, stewarding your time and everything else that comes with our lives. Yeah, so that's a lot of my 2026 game plan for my return back to myself, return back to the habits that I already know work. I've got this beautiful deluxe heated body blanket that has a hoodie and feet, and I just love it. I am loving being warm. I love being warm. Feet warm, hands warm, just warm and cozy. I'm going to love this year of pouring into myself completely, like a lot. I already pour into myself a lot, but this year I'm going to be doing so much more of it. And I'm excited to share that journey with y'all. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely give me a big thumbs up. And if you are not yet subscribed, definitely become a part of the Loved Ones community. And I'll see you in the next one. Same time next week. See you there.